All right, guys, welcome No Filter Nation. We wanted to bring you something a little bit faster, a little bit shorter, more condensed. It's got some good info in it, some meat and potatoes, and we're starting a new segment that's going to come out in the middle of the week. And it's going to be called Real Talk 10. 10 minutes of packed information that we want to give you. Might be lighthearted, might be heavy, but it's 10 minutes of good quality content just for you.
This week we decided to do, or I chose it because it kind of goes along with our marriage talk, but there's a blogger that I absolutely adore. Her name's Erin Howard, and her husband Jay are both bloggers that talk a lot about relationships. They're married, they don't have kids yet, and I love their take on marriage and how they make it playful and they make it exciting. And so she shares every week her relationship challenges, and for this 10-minute talk, I decided to share some of her challenges with you, which are just quick little things, some are big, some are small, that you can do to reignite your relationship with your spouse. So, you can find her at happilyhowards.com, and her first one that she did was, on this one that I found, was to plan a getaway with your friends. It can be like a 30-minute travel, like you don't have to go to another state.
Staycation?
Yeah, you could even do a staycation, but you have to plan it. You have to plan the stay, you have to plan what you're doing. And for this one, I believe that she was talking about with your spouse, because I also know that there's one in here where she talks about just doing it solo. So,
for the sake of the marriage week is what we're going to have, let's talk about the one that we've got with your spouse.
Well, I think they're both good, though.
No, I agree.
Because if you do one with your spouse, right, you're both connecting. You're both getting away from your job, getting away from your world. If you're parents, you're getting away from the kids, and you're taking that time to invest into one another. No, nobody is coming in to pull on your leg or to chat with you. It's all your spouse. I also agree that doing maybe a little getaway, like how you like to do your snowboard trips, or maybe do a girls' getaway to do food and wine somewhere. If you take that 1 or 2 days,
I think there's a really great
dynamic.
Yeah, that comes back from that trip.
Yes.
If you think about it, you're reinvigorated
as an individual.
Yes, and you're also reinvigorated as a couple because, one, you miss each other.
Yes.
True, one of them might be a little stressed or hectic because they've been dealing with the kids.
Right.
So the other one comes and takes over. But there's a passion there. You've missed each other. You've got to give relationships the chance to miss each other.
Yes, and I think, too, that you shouldn't tell your spouse to go do something with the intent of, like, well, when he gets back, he's going to do this. No, let him take that time. Let him get out of his own head. Let him get away from work. Let him get away from the kids. Like,
yeah, don't have a to-do list for them
God,
when they get back. That is the worst.
Look, it is okay when they get back to bed. Look, can I just take a 15-minute bath? But don't you dare, when he comes in the house, treat him like he's a piece of crap because he left. You want your spouse to take, now also spouses, I will say this to preference it, don't go be douchey on your trip. Take it as a trip. Take some guys that you trust, that your wife trusts, and just enjoy yourself.
Or girls. Don't be...
Oh, okay. I thought you said go take girls on the trip.
No.
I was like, what?
No, I'm saying girls trip, don't be douchey as well.
Oh, no, that goes for both. But take that time to really just relax. Like, I think that's why you see all these shows of these divorced couples that they're like, well, I'm free to be me. Why do you need that? Like, you can have that in your marriage. Give your spouse a weekend away.
Sorry to interrupt, but a really important tip in the middle of that is you cannot blow them up while they're away.
Yes.
If you're texting them just drama over and over and over while they're gone, they might as well just be in the same room.
Yes, that's good. There's no way they can decompress and pull themselves out of the day-to-day if you're giving them the day-to-day.
Look, handle it.
I was just going to say, handle your business.
Just handle it.
But
when she texts you and says, how's it going? Your house could have pizza sauce all over the walls and it could be the worst situation possible. But if they're alive and everyone's okay, then you say, it's great, hon. Hope you're having a great time.
Exactly. And let them both have that time for themselves. Because I think in a marriage sometimes we become one person that we forget who we are individually. So I definitely think that her tip to plan a vacation with your spouse but also apart is an amazing idea.
How do you financially do it?
I think that you need to put away monthly for it. I think that you both need to, at the beginning of the year or middle of the year, whatever, you both sit down and you say, okay, like for instance, if Ryan said, this is what I want to do with my buddies and I'm going to pick, let's just say September, then I would come in and say, okay, I pick May and this is what I'm going to do. And then together we've decided that in February, we're going to do ours. Now we each know the month, so now we know how much time we have to plan for it.
What do you think would be the cost of the trip for a weekend?
For a weekend, okay. Well, you figure a hotel, right? Say it costs $150 a night.
So $300?
$300, but now you have probably at least one friend that's going with you. So you're splitting that.
But let's just call it $300 in case there's an increase.
Okay, so we're each paying $300.
We're doing one trip. I'm going to figure out how to budget this within this 10 minutes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm paying $300 and my friend's paying $300.
You got $300 for hotel. How much do you need for food?
Okay, so let's see. I would say each meal's about $30. You're paying for three of them, so $100 a day.
So let's call that $300. Let's say $150 because if you have a nice dinner, drinks, add alcohol in it.
Well, you're adding alcohol.
So then I'll add another $100 for alcohol. All right,
that's if you drink, and we're not saying you have to drink when you go out.
That's $700. What else do you got? Shopping. Okay.
Girls first thing, shopping. We're shopping.
Another $300.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say $1,000.
Are you driving?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to average $1,000 for the trip. So you need $2,000 for the husband and the wife for their own personal trip, and you need $1,000 for your couples trip. So $3,000 in a year time period.
That's 12 months.
That's 12 months. So if you did that, that's $250 a month that gets put away. All right. So let's just say that in $1,000 you need, because let's have one trip in the first half of the 6 months, one trip in the second half of the 6 months. Okay.
Well, no, you could span it out between one in the first, one in the middle, one at the end. So every 4 months there's a trip.
Okay, so let's say that you need $1,000 by 4 months. Okay.
That's $250.
$250 a month.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, you're going to need $250 a month. Divide that by 4 weeks. That's $62.50 a week to put away.
So if we stopped going to Target, we could each have our trips.
How much is a coffee at Starbucks?
$5.
So if you did not drink, if you're a coffee drinker at Starbucks and you chose not to have 12 coffees at Starbucks a month, you could go on a trip with your girls, you could go on a trip with your boys, or you could go on a trip as a couple.
Isn't that insane to think about? Just making coffee at home could get you 3 vacations a year.
Okay. So if you drink a coffee every day at Starbucks, okay, $5 a day times, let's just call it 30 days, is
5 times 30 is $150.
$150. If you took less than half of those coffees away, 12.5, let's call it 13, you can go on a trip with your girls.
That's so crazy.
You
so if in this 10-minute time span, your mind's not blown that Starbucks coffee is killing your marriage. Jot that down.
Well, guys, 10 minutes, the Real Talk 10. It's going to be a new segment we drop every week. We want to make it for people that do not have that 45-minute time frame to listen. It's real quick. It'll be on YouTube. You'll be able to find it on our blog, the video, and we will post the podcast as well.
Yes.
So, Real Talk 10, guys, thanks for joining us. We look forward to it next week.
Let us know about your vacations. Peace.